In spring 2021, a new police officer was assigned to Shibuya. Just 3 days into the job, they encountered a monster at the famous Scramble intersection and suffered severe injuries that nearly proved fatal. This traumatic incident would change their life forever. Faced with a mysterious cane, they pondered their fate and chose survival over remaining insignificant. This decision led to an unexpected transformation. Upon regaining consciousness, they had become a magician, specifically a replica. While some look down on replicas as mere imitations, their magical abilities are undeniably real. In Shibuya Ward, with its nighttime population of 220,000, only about 200 to 1,000 are magicians. Many are strays who don't belong to official organizations. They blend in with regular citizens, suppressing their magical nature while fighting internal, destructive urges. The story shifts to May 10th, focusing on various areas around Shibuya, including Miyashita Park and the famous Scramble Crossing. A significant event occurs with the dismissal of Chief Shirasaki, marking a change in the local power structure. The Magic Enforcement Administration, MAR, serves as a magical riot police force, opposing the Wizards Guild. Their duties include detecting magical activities and arresting those involved in dangerous incidents, particularly those involving monsters. An illegal magic reporting app allows citizens to expose magical acts. A particular concern involves Rubrum, a magical drug manufactured by the Rub Guild. This highly addictive substance grants temporary magical sensitivity, but comes with severe side effects. Tokyo enforces strict magic-related curfews, requiring citizens to stay indoors after 11 p.m. This long-standing regulation reflects the ongoing tension between normal society and the magical world that exists within it. A mysterious fog appears in the city, visible only to magicians. Through this fog lies a special gate called Fumon, which can be accessed through specific magical incantations. This represents a boundary between the normal world and magical realm. By May 11th, significant changes occur in the police force hierarchy. Officer Nishijima receives a promotion to sergeant, marking a new chapter in the ongoing struggle between law enforcement and magical forces in Shibuya. The term Wizart combines wizard and art, representing those who acquire and strengthen magic. The Wizard Guild aims to increase their numbers, including converting Rubrum addicts into wizards, though this transformation comes with its own risks and moral implications. The scene opens with a tense interaction between warriors and discussion of their unique understanding. A university junior named Otajima is introduced, referred to as Crow Senpai. The situation quickly becomes serious as they discuss registration at a facility that will impact future generations. A significant timestamp is revealed, 1109 days before a melting incident. The scene shifts to late night, around 12:30 a.m., where questions arise about mysterious part-time work in Meguro. There are suspicions about witches and magicians in the area. The setting moves to Stream Plaza, where vigilantes are identified. These are not official witch hunters, but volunteers recognized by the Tokyo government. They select targets based on unique characteristics and operate in a morally questionable way. A volunteer group representative from Shibuya introduces themselves. They support stray wizards who choose to live freely outside the guild system. While this freedom is empowering, it comes with loneliness. The group offers support to those who need it. The narrative delves into wizard knowledge and magic mechanics. Shibuya is described as a treasure trove for wizards and guilds, with special emphasis on how magic is written and strengthened. Only guilds possess the rare ability to write certain types of magic. The scene shifts to Stream Plaza again, where conflict emerges involving the damned. The fog creates an alternate world, visible only to magicians, controlled by the Entrance Guild. This serves as a recruitment ground, though with potentially sinister undertones. A revelation occurs about replicas and mutations. Some individuals develop delayed magical powers, leading to workplace discrimination and forced retirement. This adds complexity to their motivations for joining various factions. The conflict reaches a turning point with discussions of legal activities and magical gratitude. There is evident exhaustion from constant fighting, yet pride remains in being able to contribute as a magician. There are discussions about becoming the strongest magician, with various interpretations of what strength means. Dreams and aspirations for magical power expansion are explored. A discussion begins about returning to work and studies after a long absence. There is mention of taking exams and wanting to use Kuji-san as a teacher. The conversation shifts to an invitation to embark on a potentially dangerous adventure into a forest. The setting is revealed to be another pufferfish world, governed by guilds. The mysterious Domino's forest is introduced, containing a large gate and boss monsters. Previous encounters with these monsters are referenced, leading to a discussion about seeking freedom through connecting wind gates. There is discussion about magicians needing to exercise restraint and control. The concept of liberation through dominoes is explored, with the belief that becoming liberated equals becoming the strongest. The existence of Tamori and the wind suggests possibilities for achieving great power. The magical sea is described as appearing differently to various people. Some see it as a flower garden or world of light. A reference is made to a summer vacation kidnapping incident from the past. The conversation then turns to the intersection of imagination and reality through magic. A story unfolds about a friend whose mother was acting strangely, taking time off work unexpectedly. Following her revealed she was buying Rubrum, suggesting an addiction. This led to the discovery of the pufferfish shop and learning about certain spells. The scene shifts to a more peaceful setting after leaving the Moria wilderness. Discussion turns to finding pufferfish in Shibuya, while noting the slower circuit and cancelled shows. Important figures like Yamatochi and Deputy Director Dojin are mentioned. Reports come in about illegal magical activity at Shibuya Station Scramble intersection. Multiple demon squads are deployed to handle the situation. The Magic Guild becomes involved, leading to increasing tension in the area. Events culminate at Shibuya Hatsukai, the Magic Guild base. There is recognition that comprehensive understanding between wizards and regular people is no longer possible. The narrative suggests a return to old methods of gentle coercion, with mounting conflict on the horizon. A discussion begins about entering what appears to be a former church building that now serves as an office. The complicated nature of land rights led to this beautiful building being excluded from redevelopment plans. There is speculation about OR's involvement in this situation. The interior of the building is described as surprisingly beautiful, despite not being very old. The space is well maintained, particularly due to Whale-sama's dedication to cleanliness. A room is designated as the new office space. The security system has been configured to allow for daily access. The location provides access to a mysterious forest entrance. Discussion shifts to the Spainzaka studio at Primos, where an unusual fog doesn't appear in photographs, casting doubt on its connection to the sought-after forest. A network of contacts is being utilized to gather information about stray magicians in Shibuya. The information exchange involves collaboration with OR and is considered reliable. Plans are made to investigate with team members including Marin-kun, Moa, and potentially Nikika. The narrative shifts to discuss social media presence and witch hunts. There is concern about witch identification being potentially fatal, though some view it merely as entertainment. The atmosphere becomes more magical as spells involving wind are mentioned. A significant event approaches at the guild, with fog appearing to welcome participants. The strategy involves monitoring movement at the scramble intersection. The second Magic Squad deploys as a mobile special unit, with teams coordinating to handle the situation. A call to action is made for wizards to reclaim their rights, framing it as a fight for justice. There are criticisms of Mara for not recognizing users' free will and prioritizing persecutors' interests. The situation in Shibuya becomes increasingly tense. The focus shifts to a mission involving a Rubrum dealer and Mr. Kodama. The situation involves revenge and complex consequences, with discussion of protecting client identities and handling sensitive records to prevent online exposure and sanctions. New information emerges about a location near a square. The conversation includes concerns about monsters and the importance of protecting people from both the guild and potential conflicts between wizards and common citizens. Historical context is provided about magicians in Japan dating back to the Christian era. The narrative covers their persecution during the Edo period and eventual expulsion from Japan, with some finding refuge in forests while others integrated into villages. A Japanese magic guild formed to protect citizens and work with the government. While initially successful in establishing cooperation, negotiations became complicated and resulted in magical battles. The events took place around Shibuya Magic Road in 1924 during the Taisho era. The public began fearing wizards after witnessing the violent nature of magic. This led to various restrictive laws that ultimately impacted human rights. The guild wizards operated in a separate magical space, fighting for equality between reality and fantasy. A rare and powerful type of magic was discovered that needed careful handling. Despite some hesitation and fear, there was determination to harness this power. The situation appeared dangerous, but presented an opportunity to demonstrate magical abilities. A mystical wind emerged with the potential to transform the world. This power, combined with the strongest magician, could reshape reality. However, some were focused solely on personal gain rather than global impact. The focus shifted to future possibilities rather than past events. There was encouragement to become the strongest magician through belief and determination. The importance of combining power with love was emphasized to prevent magic from becoming mere violence. A revelation emerged that posts about a fugitive magician were fabricated to lure the Mishi captain into joining the guild. This manipulation led to internal conflicts and organizational criticism. A plan was formed to create a narrative protecting the organization. Plans were made to evade detection and find safe hiding spots. The group temporarily disbanded with arrangements to meet at a church. Despite no longer being officially connected, some members maintained loyalty to their former leaders. The church became a temporary sanctuary, equipped with security systems and cameras. Discussions about education and magical abilities took place, comparing the different paths available to wizards versus normal solutions. A former medical researcher revealed their background in advanced research and interest in magic. Despite facing expulsion and being labeled as evil, they continued their work, developing controversial magical technologies. A major battle occurred at headquarters on May 15th, causing public disruption. Several guild members, including Marin and Nishijima, became fugitives. A search was initiated with substantial bounties offered for information leading to their capture. Advanced control devices were developed for magical management, though they raised humanitarian concerns. These included extreme measures like embedded bombs, leading to ethical debates about their use and necessity. The headquarters incident suspects were identified, with rewards posted for their capture. The situation escalated, forcing difficult decisions about handling those involved while maintaining security and control. Late at night, a group gathers in what seems to be an unusual meeting. The atmosphere is tense and mysterious, with discussions about wind and sleep creating an enigmatic mood. The conversation flows between mundane topics and deeper undertones, setting up what appears to be an important gathering. A formal introduction takes place involving several key figures, including Nishijima and Masayoshi Sanuichiro. The group appears to be forming an alliance, despite having different backgrounds. Their shared interests bring them together, though there seems to be some initial hesitation and uncertainty among the members. The meeting reveals a complex situation involving magicians and non-magicians. The discussion centers around survival and the need for cooperation between these two groups. A new vision emerges about creating harmony in the town, though underlying tensions remain visible. The group defines themselves as warriors fighting for change, starting from Shibuya, Tokyo. They introduce a concept called electric shock slave and discuss consequences of betrayal. Their mission involves creating a new order in a world where magicians face oppression and discrimination. A mysterious app becomes a central topic of discussion. It has the ability to affect 3 people at once, though the specifics are kept intentionally vague. The conversation shifts to making the app more secure and limiting its control to a single owner. The scene changes to describe a tense situation involving weapons and collars. Despite being former enemies, the group shows signs of cooperation. Their mission becomes more urgent as they head towards Spain Hill, focusing on supporting those seeking justice. Background information reveals internal conflicts within a guild, including attempted contact and executive involvement. The story touches on survival against threats of erasure, adding layers to the complex relationships between characters. A tragic backstory emerges involving addiction to something called Rubrum and its devastating effects on families. The narrative includes themes of redemption, revenge, and the cycle of violence that continues to impact multiple generations. The discussion begins about Rubrum, a concerning substance that has many sellers trying to distribute it despite its difficulties. As it spreads, the number of addicts increases, along with associated negative emotions, leading to more manufacturing. While destroying it could help eradicate the problem, there is resistance to taking direct action. There are concerns about associates being transformed into monsters and shifts in leadership dynamics. Despite these changes, the core mission remains consistent. The disappearance of Rubrum could potentially lead to widespread withdrawal symptoms among users, causing chaos. The younger generation shows adaptability and imagination in handling various situations. The conversation shifts to discussing responsibility for addressing the Rubrum Factory situation, with emphasis on social justice and collective action despite the challenges involved. Plans form to locate the Rubrum Factory in another realm. The group decides to apply to join the guild as part of their strategy. They discover that special stickers around Shibuya, when scanned with smartphones, reveal information about fog locations and spells leading to another. An important project emerges involving Mayor and the guild. Key figures including the governor and deputy are mentioned, along with discussions of potential threats and risks involved in gathering critical information. The situation involves monster-filled areas and fog. Gem Shinzaki, a guild scout, discusses legacy and extends an invitation to participate. However, important negotiations between the guild and mayor have temporarily suspended external activities. A meeting is scheduled to conclude by 11 p.m. with promises of fog preparation afterward. The operation to destroy the Rubrum Factory enters Phase 1, focusing on locating the facility. The plan involves using guild recruitment routes for investigation. The situation with Rubrum spans decades, suggesting deeper, undisclosed circumstances. The guild structure is explained, including different member combat abilities and the evaluation process for new recruits. The Wilderness of Sorting serves as a testing ground where performance affects guild status. Survival is crucial for acceptance. Historical context is provided about the guild's founding families, Make and Dogami. Past conflicts led to significant changes, including the destruction of important statues and shifts in organizational structure. The Shinzaki family maintained a key position throughout. The mission focuses on investigating the Rubrum Factory location. Personal connections to the Rubrum crisis emerge, including revelations about missing family members affected by addiction. The group prepares to gather intelligence while awaiting further developments. A group finds themselves in a mysterious fog near the Rubrum Factory. The environment changes daily, making navigation unpredictable. There's concern about potential punishment from someone named Correo if they're discovered there. The Rubrum Factory apparently serves as both an industrial facility and medical treatment center for those injured in the wilderness. There's discussion about a replica from the Witch Guild and suspicion around someone named Shinsaki. A person named Mare is mentioned, with claims of abandonment and betrayal between parties. Order books scattered around Shibuya are cited as evidence of these past events. A potential conspiracy involving Mare sending agents is debated. The situation escalates into a serious matter requiring the Internal Affairs Department's attention. Being a replica comes with restrictions on making independent decisions. There's tension as someone appears to be trying to create trouble or set up others. A conflict involving the Shinsaki family unfolds, with discussions of victory and legacy. There's a request to keep certain information secret from someone named Yoshi-sama, while the Internal Affairs Department maintains their role in protecting guild security. The group receives information about Nanaya near Center Gai and discusses the Forest of Dominoes. This location seems to trigger unpleasant memories for some members. Despite the risks, they decide to proceed with their mission. Personal stories emerge about family relationships, particularly regarding mothers and the impact of working at Rubrum. There are mentions of near-death experiences and a mysterious dark sea that appears in recurring dreams. The group reflects on the price paid for magic abilities. A trial is announced by the Guild's Internal Affairs, scheduled for May 18th at midnight at the Scramble intersection. The event involves fog spells and raises concerns about potential traps and risks. Multiple factions, including Eiga and various guild members, are involved. The trial begins, focusing on conflicts between guild members and replicas. The authenticity of accusations is questioned, and participants must prove their sincerity through combat. The situation becomes increasingly chaotic as multiple parties engage in conflict. The aftermath reveals opportunities for redemption and new beginnings. There's discussion about removing collars and electrodes, suggesting previous restraints or control measures. Promises of support and continuation of relationships are made. There is an expressed desire to become the strongest wizard after gaining confidence from defeating something. With newfound determination, the path forward seems clearer. This aspiration sets the tone for an important journey ahead. Information from Theo reveals details about becoming a wizard. The process involves exploring the city and some infiltration work. A specific location at Miyashita Park near Tower Records has been identified as significant, with a mysterious fog that leads to another town. Access to this mysterious location is time-restricted, only available between 22 and 2:30 the next day. Beyond the fog lies a forest that leads to a factory resembling a museum known as the Rubrum Factory. A 16-year-old wizard admits to struggling with battles and magical powers. The journey through the forest is perilous, leading to the Kokufu Museum of Art. Inside the building offers safety, but visitors must remain quiet. The museum is headed by Yakumo, who has stepped down as guardian of beauty. The facility houses artwork over 500 years old, including the Wither painting. The collection contains various magical artifacts and books in ancient languages. The museum contains historical records of wizards who arrived in Japan centuries ago. There are reports of art thieves and conflicts between different factions. The building serves as more than just a museum. It is a gateway to something greater. Dreams of a vanished sea persist. The story shifts between the museum and personal experiences, revealing deeper connections to magical powers and ancient histories. The museum holds secrets beyond its apparent purpose. Important historical revelations emerge about Renatus and the Holy Grail. A connection is discovered between current events and events from 100 years ago, involving the Consul and facility group. Family legacies and magical bloodlines play a significant role. The fog in town is managed by the Nebula Aurel Guild. Critical information about Renatus' magical power is revealed, connecting to Maladius of the Dark Sea. A century-old battle between the Consul and Guild reshaped magical history in Japan. A significant milestone approaches as May 24th marks exactly 100 years since 1924. The discussion centers around magic abilities and their imminent availability, with only 5 minutes remaining until magic can be used. There are concerns about maintaining strength and the possibility of becoming the strongest. The conversation shifts to personal experiences with magic and future plans. It's revealed that this is the first time using magic to help others, with feelings of remorse about causing harm. With magic potentially disappearing in 5 days, focus turns to obtaining a black sword and dealing with various priorities. A group visited the Numata Museum unexpectedly. The museum incident led to destruction, with paintings and books burning down. Plans developed to investigate a nickel brum factory, with discussion of fog spells and gathering crucial information about the facility's internal structure. Rubrum becomes a central topic, discussed as a social issue since the war's end. The conversation explores how society changes and personal responsibility in those changes. Through speculation about how a supremely powerful magician could transform the world. The factory scene reveals disturbing details about Rubrum production, with blood being a key ingredient. The facility contains vital equipment called shimaos, and the search begins for its critical weak points. The manufacturing process involves mixing different types of blood. The discussion delves into the deeper implications of magical power and its connection to Consul. A significant revelation about the Guild's history emerges, particularly regarding events from 100 years ago when peace was achieved with Consul. The factory manager, Shinzaburo Kiyokawa, is identified as a key figure. The facility is revealed to be producing illegal magical products, leading to immediate orders for production shutdown. The scene transitions to Shibuya, with characters expressing exhaustion. Flashbacks to 1819 reveal a 20-year-old seeking the strongest magical power, making significant decisions that would impact the future. The aftermath of the factory incident is addressed, leading to important discussions about the Kita Guild's future. Questions arise about company inheritance and leadership succession. A critical time limit approaches on May 24th, when magic powers will disappear. The focus shifts to gathering information about fog in Domino's forest, though some are avoiding participation in the Holy Grail quest. There are discussions about rules that no one fully understands, and debates about how the strongest should relate to these rules. Information about fog emerges, connected to Miyashita Park's bouldering wall. Despite time constraints, there are calls to take detours through Shibuya. The conversation touches on using magic to contribute to society and opening previously unknown gates. The scene shifts to Domino's forest and interactions with Fukamachi, who appears calmer after taking a bath. There are discussions about rest and recovery, with expectations of quick returns and questions about authenticity versus acting. The approaching deadline of May 24th looms large when magic will vanish from Shibuya. Only certain legacies possess the Friday Holy Grail. The role of the Consul in ruling Japan is discussed, along with strategies for wielding influence discreetly rather than through overt threats. The narrative explores a mysterious dark sea called Mare Deus, described as a dreamscape that might exist somewhere. There are musings about reality versus belief and the power of magic to shape perceptions. Time passes strangely, with references to 22-hour periods and battery-like exhaustion. Communication with Fukamachi becomes difficult as monster numbers increase in town, creating a situation where unity becomes crucial. The Aigas have evolved their combat tactics. There are discussions about rewards from the guild and mayor, while communication challenges persist. The focus shifts to cleaning up the city despite mounting difficulties. A formal meeting begins with introductions of key figures, including Taga Toyama and Chi, the director. The guild discusses training management and legacy succession plans while trying to maintain secrecy about certain objectives. Strategic discussions unfold regarding Sudario at the Magical Zoo in another. 3 key strategies are developed in consultation with Mr. Kuji, leading to important gatherings and decisions about city-wide arrangements. Operations are about to begin, though Fukamachi's absence is noted. Questions arise about fighting capabilities and the securing of fog resources. The necessity of these actions for achieving a peaceful society is emphasized. Life is constantly evolving and changing. People who gain power through force will eventually be overcome by new forces. The real importance lies not in controlling or ruling others, but in pursuing one's true passions and living authentically each day. Despite feelings of loneliness and isolation, there is still happiness to be found. The guild is approaching its end, with conflicts arising between former allies. Though uncomfortable, this situation stems from Benku declaring certain parties as enemies. A mysterious magical presence has appeared in Shibuya, bringing strange winds and supernatural occurrences. The situation has become tense, with previous friendships being strained to the breaking point due to conflicting loyalties and objectives. The Holy Grail has become a central point of conflict, with various factions believing it necessary regardless of who possesses it. The guilds maintain exclusive control, leading to accusations of unfairness and brewing tensions. A series of attacks by Aegis forces led to abandoning the church. There is uncertainty whether they were targeting individuals or the Holy Grail itself. The situation has become increasingly dangerous, forcing difficult decisions about survival and loyalty. Magic is bridging reality and fantasy in unexpected ways. A powerful force is needed to achieve certain goals, requiring access to specific magical locations. The connection between wind magic and the land itself plays a crucial role. Concerns arise about potential world destruction and the importance of preserving legacies. Many families possessing the Holy Grail are facing extinction. Some are waiting for Renatus, while others focus on maintaining their ancestral names and traditions. The history of magic in Japan is revealed, including the story of Hari Yuno and the persecution of early magic users. By 1924, significant developments occurred, including Bram Kraman's arrival and Zoe's marriage into the Yuno family, leading to major land acquisitions in Shibuya. Post-Pacific War, much of Yuno's property was lost through deception. The complex relationships between magical families and their legacies continue to influence current events, with past grudges and friendships shaping present conflicts. The true nature of magical power is discussed, revealing its connection to belief and conviction. The situation has reached a critical point where reconciliation seems impossible, with many now aware of previously hidden truths and conflicts. In a seemingly empty moment, an opportunity arises to take action. The discussion centers around Alza and Ram, suggesting it's acceptable to retreat when necessary. There are mentions of confronting a consul without relying on unnecessary magic, with undertones of seeking freedom through becoming stronger. The scene shifts to an elevator setting involving Renatus. Multiple elevator rides occur, with references to specific dates including May 24, 2024. This sequence appears to hold significance for those watching, suggesting some form of power or influence tied to viewership. The narrative reveals questions about Mera's true identity and mentions Taiko's deception. The setting moves to the Domino's forest, where a distinct trap awaits. Discussions of insurance and Fukamachi's final opportunity arise, along with uncertainty about Michio's actions. Tensions rise as characters express fear and distance from Marin. Personal struggles and conflicts surface, particularly regarding Michio. The atmosphere grows increasingly uneasy as discussions of disappearance and magical transformation emerge. A mysterious fog becomes central to the narrative, connecting to the era of Mug and involving Dora Danella. The situation with Arai unfolds, involving guild magic and creating atmospheric tension with wind and storms. A significant reunion occurs after a period of separation. Discussions of magical power preparation and strategic positioning around gates take place. The narrative introduces Marinella, drawing connections to the legendary wizard Merlin and mysterious nebula phenomena. The plot advances to reveal larger implications involving Renatus and the Consul, with a 100-year time span mentioned. Power dynamics and control over the country become central themes, emphasizing the need for peaceful negotiations and strong leadership. A dramatic revelation occurs involving the Michiro Guild and Consul dispatched magicians. The narrative presents a complex political situation involving conspiracy and antisocial elements, with implications for Kiri Marine Town's future. The story reaches a critical point where characters must navigate through fog using specific spells and incantations. The presence of Lucocell wizards becomes significant, and tension builds around time-sensitive decisions. The aftermath of events at Domino's Renatus unfolds, touching on themes of magical power and the fate of former wizards. Questions of strength, release, and worldly returns become prominent in the discussion. The narrative concludes with themes of protection, future responsibility, and magical cleansing. References to fog and sleep suggest a transformative ending, with implications for the world's magical future. The story touches on themes of love and renewal,